Seems like it's gonna be a very wet and intense night. Hear the rain come down upon my shutters, and the lightning, yes. Cletus? Yeah, we're about to have guests. Are you sure? Yes. They're about to approach now. I sense them. Go to the door and welcome them, please. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I wonder why she wanted to come in such a night like this. Yes, sir. Welcome, Miss Baby Girl. How you doing? Please come in out the rain. Let them take your coat and warm up. And now you want to interview me. You sought me out for a long time, but I am willing to give you an interview. Please sit down and have some food, maybe a little bit of wine. Yes, be comfortable. It's a rough weather out here. So would there be anything else, master? No. You can go beyond your ways, and if I need you, I'll call you. Yasa. Yes, it's really brutal out there, I know. So, Miss Baby Girl, what would you like to know about me? My story? Well, we're gonna have to start from the beginning, if you do not mind. Yes. Do you believe that I'm somewhere near 600 years old? You don't. Yes. I am from the old country. From a gypsy tribe in Romania. And we traveled all over Europe, making our mark and playing our games of chance and wages. But let me tell you the other story which coincides with mine. During the mid-1400s, there was a ruler of Transylvania named Vlad. But he had the dubious honor of being called Vlad the Impaler. And the reason he was called this is because he treated his enemies by impaling them on poles through their rectum all the way through their mouths, and then squirming on the poles, dying. Yes, he was brutal like that. And that is why he was called Vlad the Impaler. And when the Turkish army came and saw all their men on these poles, it brought a fear to them. Even though they know they had to try to conquer him, but he's not going to let it be easy. Even his armor was coated in their blood, stained. He let it stain to a nice glossy red. So when he led the battles, he was the first one with his sword gleaming ready to cut off some heads or impale someone. He was vicious, and he was a true leader of Transylvania. But he wanted more power in order to defeat the Turkish army. So he sought after a despicable evil power that none should ever speak of. He sought out the power of the Nosferatu, the vampiric race that dwells within the caves in the forest. And he went through trial and error, and he found the leader. And the leader gave him an option to gain this power and defeat his enemies. But once he consumed blood, he'll become a Nosferatu forever. And he took that challenge and defeated the Turkish army with ease, with a strength of 100 men, speed and agility, and a desire to kill. But his thirst for blood grew and grew and grew. And he took the plunge, and he was forever Nosferatu. He was forever a vampire. Yes, the rain is coming down hard, I know. But don't worry, we're nice and warm inside here. So, my family were real gamblers, but they always were losers, and they never want to pay their, wages to those who won against them. Vlad was in disguise, just trying to get to know some of the folk around the area, and he came upon our camp. But using his powers, he waged a lot of bets, and my father lost. My father couldn't pay. And Vlad revealed himself with his bright red armor and says, "I will kill everyone in this village if you do not pay." So my father, little degenerate, he offered me up. And at first Vlad was wondering, a man will give up his child for the wages of sin? But he looked into my eyes, and he looked into my soul, and he was intrigued, and he took me for his own. So that was the last I've seen of my father. Now, Vlad did not harm me in any way. He taught me all about warfare, about weaponry, about being a vampire. And he decided that he would not change me until my 18th birthday. And I agreed because I was curious about what will become of me if I become a vampire, part of the Nosferatu race. Because there are others before him, but they hide out in caves and only come out at night. But Vlad, since he was the most popular, he called himself Count Dracula, son of the dragon. And that is what people know him as. Some call him Dracula, but his real name is Count Dracula. Yes. Upon my 18th birthday, Dracula changed me into what I am today. A representation of the Nosferatu. My name was Xavier. Nowadays, people call me Count X. Yes. And me and Dracula, we went on missions as we ravaged all throughout Europe, with maidens drinking blood to our heart's content, learning and learning to do many things. I've turned into many animals. I've traveled all across the lands. At night, of course. And eventually, during the 1600s, the Count said there was a new country being developed overseas. And he wanted me to go over there and make my mark in the world. And I was anxious to do this. New lands, new people, new blood. I was ready to go. So, the Count set me up on a ship that would take me. I took some land, some dirt, and put it in the bowels of the ship. With my coffin and plenty of gold to start my new adventure in America. And I said, Count, are you sure you want me to do this? I don't want to leave you here all by yourself. He said, no. As long as you thrive, I am with you always. So as I made my journey to the new world, it was a long journey, and eventually I had a couple of cabin boys which made for a perfect meal, and a couple of stowaways which made my feast much, much better. The crew did not bother me. They knew what I was about. They became my new familiars. Familiars? That's those that helped me during the daytime. You know, I promised them life of immortality. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But in those early days, they were charged on finding me land and building me a small castle. And that castle is what you see right now. Been rebuilt and built many times before into this prestigious facility you see now. In the beginning, it was a little rough. I had to feed on certain natives, and they called me the blood demon. But as long as they left me alone, I went through a lot of changes. I dealt with the new Revolutionary War, the British. I dealt with a lot of situations. But none ever took this castle. This is mine, all mine. And those that try to trespass and try to destroy me, I dealt with them very savagely. So, I've also made a lot of business dealings, which my familiars helped me with. But I could not trust them. Until about in the 1800s, I met my manservant Cletus, who was a British officer in the War of 1812, who did not like what was going on in America. He didn't like the way the British soldiers were, killing. And he deserted his post. And I came upon him. He was lost, depressed, and didn't know what to do. And I offered him a chance to serve me. And he is the only one I gave a bit of immortality to. Yes, he is over 200 years old. He doesn't look it, does he? No. He has served me well. Served me very well. So, we stayed together for a long time. Did lots of business dealings. And I made my fortune in this country. Through the railroad, through oil, through a lot of things. How much I'm worth? Somewhere in the billions, I believe. But I don't let money really affect me. It has its purposes, but the thing I need now is fresh blood. And I have volunteers that give me blood. I have a blood bank that keeps me stored with fresh blood. So, that is my story, Miss Baby Girl. I see you're curious, more curious than others. Are you wondering what would it be like to be a vampire and be part of the Nosferatu? Excuse me. Your perfume is very strong. I'm trying to hold out, but yeah, it's very strong. It's nice, but it's strong. What would you say if I can change you and you could become my concubine? I have been lonely for so many years not to have someone in my life. And the change is quick. but you must agree to become my concubine. And I will show you things you can never imagine. Powers you never knew you could ever possess. What say you? Ah, I knew you were curious. For instance, you can change into animals, into mist. You can fly. You have the strength of over 100 men. Blood, I will find you ways to satisfy your blood cravings. You don't have to go out killing people. The blood will come to you. And yes, our libidos are amped up. Your sexual desires will be tenfold. And it is lovely. The ecstasy, the desires. Would you like to change? Good. Come to me. Take off your blouse. I will show you how easy it is. I see your neck throbbing red. Your jugular is just calling me. Let me taste your plasma. Now you're going to feel a pinch. Don't worry. I won't draw that much out of you. Oh, yes. Now. Yeah, let me open my shirt up. Let me cut my chest. And you will feed upon me. Now, drink, my darling. Oh, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Yeah. Yes. You're getting sleepy. And when you wake up, you will be a vampire. Part of the Nosferatu. And be my concubine. And we will love each other forever and ever. Yes. My darling. My beautiful darling.